Against the Moon is a game very much in the style of Slay the Spire, Card Apocalypse, and other card collecting games like that, where synergy and an ability to learn how different cards work against other different enemies work against other enemies and things like that are vitally important. But what this game does is it uses the grid really well to create those synergies. In Slay the Spire, it's making sure you have different card types that work well together, which is the case here. But it's how you use those in the grid that becomes vitally important. So basically, you've got your grid of 9 squares against an opponent's grid of 9 squares. You lay your cards to drop your minions in. The opponent lays their cards, drop their minions in, and they basically battle. The usual health and attack values come into it. But what attack you do to each row has a bearing on how much damage you do to the leader or how much damage you take yourself. So as you can see from the footage here, you've got one row might do have a total of 6 damage that they can do. And there's 2 minions there that will take 4 damage. I've got 4 health points, sorry, which means 2 damage will go through to the leader. By the same respect, you might do those that 6 damage, which is 2 to the leader, but they might also be able to deliver 4 damage, and your health points protecting your leader are only 3, which means you still take 1 damage at the same time. So you really need to think about what placements you're using. And each turn, the enemy will spawn new minions. Regardless of what you've destroyed, they will always spawn a new minion. So again, you need to consider, can you take those attacks and survive? Is it worth letting these ones die to get better cards up into those spots and things like that? It all comes together. And you can upgrade powers as well. So you might have, this is where synergy is important. You might have a card that gives every minion on your side a +1 attack, which is great. But you've got to decide when you use that, how you use that. And what's the pros and cons of that? So you really need to think, and you kind of, your leader gives you an idea of what damage you will do to the opposition. So there's loads of things coming to it, like shields and all things like that. And as you progress through the game, what you're watching here is a bit of the prologue. But as you progress through the game, you get to more and more different card types and how you use them, your starting hands, all that kind of thing really comes into it like any good CCG. But it's the collection of energy. So you, like the way it starts at the moment, I've got like 6 energy that I start with, and I use that to play my cards, and each one has a cost. But as you play, you gain extra energy as well, and these can be used by your generals or your main leader to then do special attacks. And there are powers and cards that you can use to generate more of this to get this up earlier. Otherwise, they gain 1 per turn kind of thing. And it just, again, it really works on, can you just soak up enough damage to then be able to use these, or do you sacrifice these to do the individual damage? And it really changes up the way you play, and each scenario is really different. And whereas I found with some of these games that you can get into a rut of, I'm just going to play it like this. Every level I've played of this so far, of Against the Moon, has had an element of difference to it that I've had to really consider my play style, and that one style doesn't work on every single level. And that's definitely a good thing about a game like this. Slay the Spire does that really well, and this does this really well. One that's taken me by surprise. I'm not going to lie, I wasn't expecting this to be as good as it was. But I really enjoy my time with this, and one I'll go back to now and again. Maybe not into my daily rotation, but definitely into my weekly rotation. A good half hour with this game once or twice a week, I think is a great value spot. And yeah, definitely if you're into CCG games, pick this one up. It's well worth it. So yeah, if you like these videos, please like and subscribe. And until next time, goodbye.